Hey guys, welcome back to 25 Feet High Outdoors. Today, this is the second part of the saddle hunting video. I think in the last video I posted like my every piece of gear and my whole process for like putting everything on and like getting ready to climb the tree. And the video went a little bit longer than expected, so I decided to make a part 2. And in today's video, we'll be talking about from the base of the tree up, how I set up everything, and like just some tips and tricks of how I do what I do. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, before we get into this video, I feel like I'm going to school for some reason. Before we get into this video, I wanted to mention one thing that I'm super excited about that you guys have helped us out a ton with, and you don't even know it. But we're doing a giveaway as soon as we get to 1,000 subscribers, which we're getting there slowly but surely. We're getting there. Well, we wanted to do a giveaway when we get there just to show you guys how much we appreciate your support. We're giving away 1 whole dozen Zombie Slayer, Black Eagle Zombie Slayer arrows, full dozen of them, uncut, brand new, still in the box. Full 12 of them. I mean, that right there is good enough for me to enter a giveaway. I don't know about you, but we're also giving away one of these hats, and I think we got a couple different styles of hats. I'm not sure, different colors, whatever. We'll let you decide. You're getting one of these hats, a t-shirt, a 25 high t-shirt of your choosing. You can go to our Teespring and go ahead and start shopping. Go ahead and order you one, and then if you want a different one and you win, you can get it free. And then we're giving away a sticker as well. And just a small merch package, and as well as a whole dozen arrows. It's almost $200 value, and you're getting it for free. All you have to do for this giveaway is you have to click that little red subscribe button that you probably already see it. If you're watching this video, you've probably already seen it. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and click that red button. If you are subscribed, then you don't even have to click it. But click it, take a screenshot, and DM us. You can send us a message on Instagram, on Facebook, on whatever you can figure out. And it's already, all that stuff's linked below, I'm pretty sure. So that's all you got to do to enter the giveaway, and I hope you do. Appreciate the support, and enjoy the rest of the video. Alright, now that I've shown you pretty much everything, I'm going to show you my whole process for getting up a tree. First things first, I get my aider out. That's like one of the first things I do, and I just toss it on the ground. Now my process is kind of iffy here. Like I get my aider out, that's one of the first things I do, and then I'll undo my pull-up rope, get it untangled if I have to, hook it to my bow. Take out one of my steps. I like it somewhere between like nipple height and eye level, just depending on the tree, depending on what I'm trying to do. So you just take that, wrap it around. I'll get a close-up of this real quick. Alright, so you want to make sure that this rope goes in between these two things, the standoff deals, whatever. Make sure it goes in between them. If you do it up here, it won't work. If you do it, I don't guess you can really do it this way, but it won't work. You got to do it in the middle. And wrap it around. Make sure it's kind of level all the way across. And then I'm going to try to show you guys this. Take your tag end, you run it under the bottom standoff, and keep in mind the upper standoffs are like parallel to the tree, I guess. They're laid up against the tree. You run it through, you pull it out, and then you go over this rope right here. You go over that, and then right in the middle of that crotch area, you come over the part that you stand on. Come over this part that you stand on, this cross thing, and then you pull it back through this loop that you created. And I like to get it pretty tight. You can kind of mess with that knot to get it however tight you need it. Pick it up. I may have gotten it a little too tight. Alright. pick it up, get it to lock into the bark, pull it down. And you know you've done something right when it snaps like that. Did you hear that snap? You know you've done something right when you hear that. Next thing I do, take my aider with the carabiner, clip it in, and make sure that this part snaps back closed, because you will kick it off. Trust me, I know. Alright, now that I've got, what I like to do is get my first step fully set up. With the aider, with the knot, everything, make sure it's all tight and everything. And then I start trying to climb up the tree. Take my lineman's belt off. Get it all straightened out. Just wrap it around the tree. Clip it into your lineman's loop. Adjust it however you need it. Pull it in and out. This is the nice thing about this, it's got a press extender from the factory. You can tighten it, pull her out. It's all good to go. And then when you're using an aider, you really want to put your whole foot in, or not your whole foot. I like to get it right kind of on the arc of my foot, and then you want to jab your toe. Not really jab it, but you want to really anchor your toe into the bark of the tree. And then when you do that, it's literally just like walking up a ladder. Good to go. And just for the sake of like this video, imagine I am 20 feet up a tree. I got beautiful oak tree. It's the only one within 7 miles that's dropping, and it's right there. I got a creek right behind it. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, opening day of bow season. Put a camera up here earlier in the season and got 7 150s walking through. Just imagine that for a minute. It should be easy. That's how it always goes for me, for sure. But alright, I'm at hunting height. I hung this step, and so I'm facing the tree like this, but imagine that my shot angle is gonna be, instead of being straight off to my left right here, it's gonna be like over here a little bit, is where I'm hoping to get a shot. Just imagine that for a second. What I'll do is I'll be standing on my last step, which is usually my 3rd step up. Oh well, I guess it wouldn't be my last step, it'll be my 3rd step from the ground. And I'll kind of lean over a little bit, pull out another step, wrap it around, bring it through. Tie that same knot that I just showed you, and this time it's going to be pretty tricky for you. It took me a while to figure it out, and I still don't really have it figured out, but alright, it's not perfect, but it'll work for just the visual. I climbed up this way, I got this set, and sometimes I'll set this one off to one side or the other depending on what I'm doing, and then this one's not super tight, as you can tell. If I was actually in a hunting scenario, I'd make sure this was tight. You can tell how loose it is. But I would make sure this is super tight, and just have one off over here. Sometimes I do like to put this one higher. It's a little bit easier. I haven't really figured out how to make them exactly level. I think I'd need a bigger tree maybe, or just more distance between the two. I don't know. But either way, I like to have 2 of these. That's kind of what I use as my platform. I'll have 1 foot right here, and usually I do take this off and hang it on my backpack or something, but this is how I like to set up. I have 1 foot like over here. These things do really good with side pressure when they're actually tightened. Obviously this one wouldn't do good, but this one you could probably hang a backhoe off of this side and it'd be fine. But I'll have 1 foot right here, 1 foot on the side. I can move around. I can do pretty much whatever I need to do to get a shot with just these 2, and it's almost as comfortable as a platform, I think. Alright, so we're continuing with the narrative that I explained earlier. I'm just waiting on one of the 7 150s that I got on camera to come out, you know, in South Alabama. Only oak tree falling for 7 miles, whatever. Usually, what I figured out earlier is I should, the side of my backpack with my tether in it. One thing I missed on my step is I'm going to have that unzipped partially so I can actually get to my tether without having to worry about unzipping the pouch. But pull out my tether. I'm at hunting height. I got my 2 wild edge steps below me. I'm pretty comfortable except for this lineman's belt. It's kind of starting to dig into my waist. I'm ready to put my tether up. So don't drop your tether when you're at hunting height. That would not be good. Not be good at all. So I'm gonna take the loop end, and the way I always do it for whatever reason is I put the loop end on my left side, bring it around, pull everything through. And the way I like my tether is I like it a little bit higher than eye level, just a hair higher than eye level, kind of like between my forehead and just above my head. I think that's probably just above my head. That's the way I like it usually. And then I will take and tighten that up a little bit, just a hair, lock my bridge in, take my lineman's belt off, and ease down. Now I'm ready to kill a 180-inch buck. So one thing to note once you get to this point, first thing I like to do is take my tether, I'll bring it around below me. This is my lineman's belt, sorry. Take my lineman's belt, come around behind me, and then loop it into my lineman's loop on this side. And then after I do that, I like to do something with this extra line. I'll tighten up my lineman's belt a little bit. Just make sure it's not dangling too hard. And then once I do that, I got everything, all my line taken care of. Oh, I take this too, and I kind of through my carabiner. Just kind of get that out of the way, get it from, stop it from dangling, you know, below me and getting it, possibly getting tangled up. And I like to take my leg straps. For me, this position with the leg straps in gets pretty uncomfortable. I'll pop those out, loosen them way up, and then hook them in. I think this bottom loop right here, I don't know where you can see it, but I think that is made for the micro adjusters that Tethered sells. But I just hook them in there, kind of get them out of the way, get a little bit more comfortable. At this point, I'm not super worried about comfort. I'm just getting like ready, you know. So I pull that, get it all hooked in. Then I might have to halfway take my backpack off already, but that's fine. Feel around, get this out. This is my gear hanger. Like I mentioned earlier, it's like super cheap on Amazon. But I'll take my gear hanger. This is literally exactly how I usually do it. I just hug the tree. Oh, that's upside down. Hug the tree and get it up a little higher than, a little lower than my tether usually. And get that all adjusted right, whatever. Take off my backpack. Hook it in. And at this point, I usually have my knee pads on. I'm usually kind of leaned up against a tree like this, sitting. And then from here, that's one thing I forgot to grab is my knee pads, but it's fine. You probably get the point. From here, I'll open up this pack. Got my tree base. The way I like to set this thing up, I might actually not set it up because this tree is a little bit big for it, but I like to put this almost where my knees are, just a hair above where my knees are. And the reason for that is it's really out of the way of my bow. That's pretty much it. I can get, on most any tree, I can get the same camera angles. It might be a little different, might look a little different. Air's gonna be coming in from above it on a kill shot, but it works for me. And with this new camera arm, it like, for whatever reason, that 3-piece, you can really wrap it around the tree, and it's shorter than a lot of camera arms, but you got more reach because of the 3-piece. Like you can fully really film 360 degrees around the tree with it, which I found tough on some of my other camera arms that I've used. But I'll get that set up, and then once that's set up 100%, got my camera on there, I am fully set up except for my bow. From that point, I'll just pull up my bow, and I'll grab it real quick for you. Alright, so I'm pulling up my bow. I get it up, I unclip my carabiner, and I usually pop my quiver off as soon as I get it up and just shove it in this pack. Usually there's not a camera arm in there to interfere with it, but you get the point. I just put it in that big open pouch right there. It holds it pretty nice. I used to hang it up, but I found I like that better. Just throwing it in that pouch. And I hang up my bow. And then after I hang up my bow, I grab an arrow, put it in the nock. And then from there, I'm fully set up. I've got everything ready to go. If I shoot at 180, you know, and then a doe comes out and it's a state that's legal, then I can shoot the doe. I get fully set up, reach in this little dump pouch, basically. Did you see that catch? That was pretty sweet. And then from here I'll just range whatever's around me. Range a bunch of trees, range of bushes, range trails, whatever I can see that really stands out. And even stuff that doesn't stand out, just stuff that will put me in the right direction of knowing exactly where that deer is. That's pretty much how I get set up. When I'm getting ready to climb down, I grab my quiver, get my arrow out of my bow if I haven't already shot it 270-inch buck or something, put it back in my quiver, put my quiver on, and then I just drop it down. And I don't drop it, I let it down easily with my rope. I get rid of my bow, and then I put everything. I usually get rid of my bow first, and then I put everything in my pack. And by this time it's usually dark, way too dark for the camera to see. And I can just, it's just like that gray light where you can't really, you might see movement but you can't tell what it is. That's about the time I climb down. It's about the time most people climb down, I imagine. But I put everything back in my pack, except for this, of course. I usually get my pack like right here or something to get this down. I like to get up to the tree and kind of sit my pack on my lap. This stuff might be way too detailed, but I feel like it's important if you want to be a saddle, if you want to get into saddle hunting. There's a lot of little things you don't really notice. Like I say, I've said this a couple times before. There's 1,772 million different ways to saddle hunt. But I put that back, put that on my back, reattach my lineman's belt, and lean into that. I like to lean into my lineman's belt before I unhook my tether. Make sure everything's good before I unhook my tether, just in case. And I'm never, from the ground to hunting height, and then all the way back to the ground, I never come unattached from the tree. I always have my lineman's belt or my tether on. One trick that you guys can, I'll share with you guys is, what I like to do is keep my tether pretty handy. Like if I'm climbing up a tree and I get to a limb hanging across that I can't get around anyway, other than unhooking my lineman's belt, what I'll do is I'll take my tether out and attach it to my lineman's loop, my lineman belt loop on my saddle. I'll attach it right next to my regular lineman's belt, and then I'll run that over the limb, and then I climb up a little bit to where the upper lineman's belt is the one holding all my capacity, and I'll just unhook the other one, and then I'll use it as my tether. That's kind of what I do. But yeah, from that point, unhooked, got my lineman's belt on, whatever, I climbed back down. And one thing, a lot of people don't like climbing down with an aider. I don't mind it, but if you don't like it, there's plenty of other options you can use. Put my tether, wrap it up real nice and tight, put it where it goes. And then climb down, get down to the ground, get everything packed up. And usually I just Same way I took it off, that's kind of how I put it on. I don't feel the need to really go into depth because there's nothing really different I do going down versus coming up, except the direction, I guess. So the last thing I wanted to mention is the very few things that I'm thinking about changing about my setup. I know I mentioned the bino harness, but the other thing, it doesn't really have to do with saddle hunting. It has to do with just filming hunts. And I don't know if you noticed, but the fluid head on that camera arm is way too big for that camera arm. It works, it's fine, but it just kind of ruins the purpose of getting a super lightweight and compact camera arm of having like a huge fluid head on there. You know, that kind of ruins the point. So I'm thinking about getting, or probably will end up getting at some point, a better fluid head for my camera arm. And another thing, the trick that I just mentioned about getting around trees. One thing that I tried this last year a little bit and it worked out really well, except for the fact that I had like all my carabiners weighed like 9 pounds. This carabiner is super lightweight, but I'm thinking about, instead of, you can kind of see how I loop this in, but you can see how I just use like a regular like loop deal to tie this into my tether, or tie this into my saddle. But I'm thinking about getting another 2 of these. I don't even know what this is, but it's you can buy these on Wild Edge website. They're like 15 bucks a piece. I'm thinking about getting 2 of these to attach my lineman's belt to here, and just to have, you know, it seems like it make it a lot better for getting around trees and just being simple, instead of having to like pull my whole rope through this. You know, I can just unclip it. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know this is probably a lot of information, a lot to soak in, and I'm not the best at saying stuff. I can say stuff. I'm just not the best at, you know, really articulating my thoughts. But all right, now that the plane's kind of passed, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. Maybe you want to go out and try saddle hunting, and this kind of gives you a head start on what to know and what to do. Click that link in the description to get some of our merch, like this hat that I'm actually wearing. You can click that red subscribe button. Don't forget about the giveaway. That's one big thing. Don't forget about that. And always remember to live life 25 feet high. And we'll see you next time.